Yo guys, my name's GhostX and today I've got a video on the AK-12. I'm starting a new series where I review all of the guns within Battlefield 4 individually in separate videos, and we're going to start with the assault rifles and the first unlocks by default, which is the AK-12. So this series is going to look in depth at the weapons. We're going to see their performance on the battlefield and their stats, as well as some information about their background in real life. So the AK-12 is a Russian weapon manufactured by Izmash, and true to the AK series of assault rifles, it is very similar to its former weapons, which is the AK-74 and the AK-47. You've probably heard of these weapons, also the AKM, and there are several variants of the AK rifle, so I'm not going to go through all of them, but this is the the successor to those weapons. The reason it's called the AK-12 is because 12 is on the date it was put into production, which is 2012. As you would have guessed, the AK-74 1947 and the AK-47 1974 and 1947 respectively. So the two numbers on the end of the rifle would suggest the date it was first put into production. AK is Avtomat Kalashnikova, which is Russian. Avtomat means rifle, and Kalashnikova is a tribute to the person who first designed the AK-47, which is Viktor Kalashnikov, I think it is. I might be wrong there, but it's something like that. His second name is Kalashnikov. I'm not sure why it's Kalashnikova within the assault rifle name, but that might be to do with something, maybe the Russian language and how they speak it, or something like that. But anyway, in-game this gun has moderately low recoil, which is surprising for an AK, AK series rifle. Now, the reason it does have that kind of recoil is actually true to real life, as the AK-12 is unique in the fact it has a very powerful recoil reduction system that actually stops the recoil more so than any of the other AK series rifles. Even so, it still keeps its power, so it does have a very good power. Now, considering Battlefield's maps are relatively large, this weapon does suit most of them, but when coming close quarters engagements, then this weapon starts to falter because of the rate of fire. Now, as you know, with most AK series rifles, the rate of fire is slow. This is to help reduce recoil because they always use a powerful 7.62 round. Now, there are some exceptions, but most of the AK line do use the 7.62 round, not the NATO version. And this rifle is no different from that. So it is very powerful, but to negate that, it has a slow rate of fire, and the recoil has been managed through the recoil reduction system. Now, I do suggest using my loadout here, which is a vertical foregrip. It doesn't really matter which foregrip you use. I know they have slightly different abilities, but all in all, they do increase the stability of the weapon and reduce the recoil. So I would definitely advise putting a foregrip on it. I have the vertical foregrip. And I'd also advise putting a sight on it, preferably a reflex sight. I've got the red dot sight here, the Coyote Chinese version. The reason for that is the iron sights are surprisingly quite open. They are useful, but optics on this game are very useful, especially for seeing in dark areas, because the red dot illuminates them dark areas, where the iron sights, especially on the AK-12, don't have trinium dots on them, so they do not reflect the light, and you can't see as well as you can in dark areas where you can with the reflex sights or any kind of major illuminated optic. Camouflage wise, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I've probably gone for the worst camouflage for this map here, which is the new quick reaction camouflage I got from Premium. It doesn't really matter too much in the way of camouflage unless you're picky about that and you want to try and blend into the environment, in which I will go with a camouflage that suits the environment. So particularly this map, Launcher Strike, I think this is Launcher Strike. It might be Wave Break, I'm not sure, but it's a Naval Strike map. I would put on something like Spray Woodland or a Woodland Camo, because that would help blend in, but I've just gone for style here because it just looks a lot cooler with this red style camouflage. So all in all, the AK-12 is a very good weapon. Compared to the other assault rifles in its class, it can be outclassed by faster firing ones in close quarters, but at long range this will outdo most of them. The Scar H does challenge this for range, as that's pretty much the American version of this weapon, so they are pretty similar stats and performance wise, but since you have the AK-12 unlocked by default and Scar H is the first weapon to be unlocked, then I would stick with the AK-12 until you get the Scar H, and then give that a try and see which you prefer more, as they are very similar weapons. But when you come to close quarters, I would recommend not using this weapon and swapping out for a PDW or carbine. So yeah, that's the AK-12 guys, and I will see you on my next video. Go stay.